Daily stand-ups in Scrum. What's the point? It's for the team. It's for them to organize, for them to communicate, and for them to problem solve. What's not the point? This is not a status update. This is not for a micromanager to come in and make sure the team is working. Who's involved? The team. I advocate for the product owner, the Scrum Master, and team members all routinely be part of the stand-up. I'll get into that later. Getting started. How can you go about implementing a daily stand-up? Get the team together, explain the purpose, explain the format, and explain how you want them to try it. And then as they continue, they can adapt as needed. All right, I'm going to talk about the standard format that I've run for my stand-ups, as well as tools used and lessons I've learned through my past 6 years of facilitating stand-ups. So let's start with the format. Ideally, you want these held same time, same place, every day, and ideally it's the first thing that the team does together. Start on time. If someone is late, if someone can't make it, start on time, run it as usual. Physically stand up to promote shorter sessions. If someone is not sitting down and comfy, they're going to be more engaged and they'll probably want to get through it quicker, which is a good thing. 3 questions. What did you do since the last stand-up? What are you going to do until the next stand-up? And is anything blocking your progress or slowing you down? Leave out information that's not related to that team. We're all doing plenty of things. Sometimes it's not related to the team that we're with. That's okay. Leave it out. It does not need to be shared in that particular stand-up. Parking lot for post discussions. Inevitably, you're going to find yourself in a situation where team members are going to spiral into lengthy, deep conversations. Pause them. Help them understand this belongs in the parking lot once stand-up is done. Take note of who needs to be involved. At the end of the stand-up, let them organize when they're going to have that discussion. Let those not involved go back to their whatever they need to do. Impediments. Note them down, keep them visible, work on them throughout the day after the stand-up. Help them come up with plan of attacks to resolve. Lastly, end on time. If you start on time and you end on time, that's 15 minutes a day. You're just going to get better buy-in and it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for everyone. Okay, let's go now to the tools I use and the lessons I've learned. First is Jira. I do present the Jira board throughout the stand-up. It helps team members remember what they're working on, and it helps other team members who aren't, inside each other's heads see the Jira that they're working on and get quicker up to speed without more explanation and without, a lot of added context and talking. Optional. It helps to take the pressure off if you make it clear that stand-ups are optional. Ideally, you want people to join, but if it's a busy day, they have something higher in priority, they have an appointment, don't attend. It's okay. You're not going to come after them. Let them do their thing for that day. I do show the burn down chart every couple days. It helps the team get an honest understanding of how data-wise they're tracking in their sprint, and it helps promote conversations if they're behind to talk about what's really going on and how they can come up with a plan of attack to complete their sprint or what they should focus on if they don't think they're going to be able to. Have the product owners routinely join stand-up. This is not in the book. There's some debate around this. My stance is product owners should be there as long as they can make it because it's just so critical that they're there to answer any product questions that come up. Product questions come up often. If they can be there to answer them immediately, it's just going to make everyone run smoother. Have the team members decide who speaks next. I used to run stand-ups by kind of like pointing at someone and saying, all right, you next, now you next. But it felt weird because it felt like I was leading it, which is not a role as a Scrum Master. So maybe start it off, suggest someone starts, and then have that person decide who goes next, and then that person decides who goes next. It's a more dynamic, interesting meeting. Have a physical or virtual whiteboard to keep a list of team impediments and discussions throughout the session. This way, at the end of the stand-up, it's very clear what needs to happen and what impediments are there, and it will just help you as a Scrum Master be able to organize through the rest of the day, and the team will be very clear on what's going on. Help the team recognize when they need some help. You will probably hear a lot. Some developers say they're almost done, and then the next day, they're almost done, and then the next day, they're still working on it. Check in with them after stand-up. Suggest ideas, ask them questions, see if there's someone else who might be able to help them. This will just help them move faster and be able to move on to their next bit of work. Aim for resolving impediments within 24 hours. It's not always possible, but it's a good goal. Help the team come up with plan of attacks, get them to commit to actions, pull up the impediment list in the next stand-up and see how far they've come, help hold them accountable if they've committed to an action, follow up to see if they've done it, and it will be very helpful to the entire team. Send an invite to each team member with a reminder to the stand-up and have it in their agenda so their time is blocked. Virtual stand-ups in Slack or Teams are a good option. Some days are busy, they're chaotic, not everyone can get together. So propose just random days in the channel. Say, all right, everyone, let's do a virtual stand-up. Answer your 3 questions in the team channel. That way people can follow up in the chat, or they can facilitate a meeting later if they need to. I'm going to end with just a last couple ways I found stand-ups to be helpful. One, if you have a big release coming up or you have a temporary project that involves team members across teams, putting together a temporary stand-up can kind of keep that momentum really going while you're working to achieve a clear goal. Second, if it's a company or a team that's new to Agile, stand-ups are an easy concept. Most people are already kind of familiar with them. It's a way to just ease it in, as well as if you tell your management who's not very familiar with Agile that you've started a stand-up, they're going to brag about how everyone's going Agile and it's amazing. If you want to see anything further or interested in any other topic, comment below, and thank you for watching.